everyone, Happy New Year. So it's officially 2021, we're not in 2020 anymore, we've survived the crash. I look crazy right now because of my brows. They're very big and ferocious, but yeah. So in today's video I'm going to be sort of reacting to and creating the popular makeup trends on TikTok. Sorry, I've got a new camera and I need to start looking in the viewfinder and looking at the actual lens itself. By the way, I have a new setup. Everything looks more professional. I have a new microphone, new lighting. Yeah, just thought I'd point that out there so it doesn't look like I'm recording with a toaster like I did on my last videos. But yeah, in today's video I'm going to be recreating and reacting to the TikTok trends. So let's jump straight into it. So in any of these videos I show, by the way, I am going to cut out music if there is music, just because I don't want to get copyrighted or get demonetized. So the first one that I'm going to create is by Michaela. So she is very TikTok famous, if you like. I feel like everybody knows who she is and she does stunning makeup looks. She actually posted this one a few days ago now and honestly, I love it. It's not really a trend that she's done, it's more of the eye look that I want to focus on. I just think it's beautiful, like the video will speak for itself. I don't know, it just looks stunning. So I'm going to actually start off with the eyes today, just because if we do get any fallout I can just wipe it off straight away. So obviously my eyebrows are already done and I've already primed the lids. So the palette that I'm going to be using today is by Beauty Bay. This is their Bright Matte palette, so it just looks like, so this is what it looks like here. So obviously they are very bright colours. Now if you were to look in the video of Michaela, it looks like she's got a regular transition shade right above all the colours, sort of in her upper crease, and then it looks like it goes into a navy and then a purple. So I'm going to be using this palette today to recreate the look. So for the overall transition shade, I think I'm actually going to take Bare Necessity just on a nice fluffy brush. And I'm not going to be too precise with this shade. This is just literally going to go all over. We really want to see this shade on top. And this is going to help the other colours blend a lot easier. She's also kept it quite round as well, so I'm going to do the same. So once we've got the transition shade down, I'm going to jump into the purple. So I'm going to use the shade Sugar Plum, I think, just on a Morphe M330. I feel like this brush will be perfect for this, just because it is slightly pointed, and that's going to help really push the product into the socket of the crease. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt my head back just so I can see where the socket of my crease is. I'm going to sort of push this product just into the crease itself. Just to make sure that everything's blended all seamlessly, I'm going to take the first brush with no extra product and just along the top of the purple, I'm going to just buff that out slightly. So once I like how that's looking, I'm going to dip into a navy. So I'm going to use the shade Stormy Night, which is just this one here, and I'm going to use it on more of a fluffy pencil brush. This is the Morphe M506, and then I'm going to pop this straight in the crease and really deepen up where that purple is. And then I'm going to go back in with that last brush that we used for the purple, and I'm going to blend the two together. So as you can see, the crease does look nice and defined already, but I don't feel like it's as dark as Michaela's were. So I'm going to take the black from the palette, only a little bit of it, and I'm just going to pop it a little bit under where that navy is, just so we can deepen it slightly. And then just like before, I'm going to take the previous brush that we used for the purple shade, and I'm going to really lightly buff this out. That sounded so down, didn't it? Like, I'm really lightly going to buff this out. So looking at the video of Michaela, it looks like she's got sort of like an iridescent glitter. It's sort of chunky on the eyes as well, but I don't have anything like that. The closest thing that I've got is this palette from Revolution. So it just contains a load of their pressed glitters, and the closest one I can find to it is this shade here. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but it's quite reflective and it's got a few different colours in it. So I'm going to use this one today. I'm going to really quickly prime my lids with the NYX glitter primer, and I'm going to use a P. Louise brush just to do this because it's really nice and precise. So I'm going to take a little bit of this on the back of my hand. I feel like she may have cut the crease before doing this, but my ass is too impatient, so we're just going straight in with the glitter. So I'm just going to press this over where I want the glitter to be, which is sort of going to be any remaining lid space, and then I'm just going to blend it in to the rest of the shadow. And then I'm just going to press this directly on top. So I actually think I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I think I'm going to apply a waterline. I think I'm going to apply a black liner to my waterline, and that's really going to like sort of make the eyes pop. So I'm going to use the one from Huda Beauty. This is their dual eye pencil, and I'm just going to use the pencil side for my waterline and apply this really quickly. I'm so white these days, I literally look grey. I'm not even joking. I resemble a corpse. So we're going to move on to skin now, and I'm going to finish off underneath the eyes afterwards. So this next one is by Reed & Matte. I'm not sure if she is the original person that thought of this. I think she is actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is. But this is something that sort of helps your skin look really flawless and full coverage. So I'm going to have a look at this one quickly.
If you wear makeup, watch. Change your whole routine and try this instead. Moisturize first. Then after moisturizing, take some translucent powder. I usually use the Fit Me one, and I just lightly dab it all over my face. Not too much. Then take some setting spray. It could be any setting spray. I usually use the NYX one. After the setting spray, take a primer and just put your primer. Also, wait for the setting spray to dry first. Then just put on your foundation and just see what happens and how amazing your fucking makeup is gonna look. And it's gonna stay on 24/7 and it's not gonna crease. It's a technique that's probably still used by so many other people. I heard that it's been used for like a long time, but I just found out about it, and honestly, look. I don't have the beauty filter on. Try it on you and let me know if it works.
So her foundation, her base even, does look really good. It looks so good to the point where it doesn't look like she's wearing foundation. So she said to moisturise first, so I'm going to use the Face Theory Regina C moisturiser. This contains vitamin C, retinol and hyaluronic acid. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. I'm just going to place this all over my skin like I normally would. I do actually have a discount code for these guys if you're interested. I will leave it in the bottom bar for you. So after you've got the moisturiser on, she then said use some translucent powder. I'm going to coat my brush, but then I'm going to tap all the excess off. I'm going to lightly press this all over my skin. So it's definitely on there because I can see straight away that it's taken away any shine from my moisturiser. You can feel it as well, but it feels smooth. It doesn't feel bad or anything like that. So she then said after you put on the powder to then use a setting spray. So I'm going to use this vitamin E one from Superdrug. And I'm just going to spray like a normal amount that I normally would. I'm not going to spray too much or anything like that. And then I'm just going to let that dry really quickly. So after the setting spray, she then said to apply a primer, but to make sure that the setting spray has completely dried, and it does feel like it has. So I'm going to be using this one from Face Theory again. I've really been liking their things because it's more like skincare infused. So I'm just going to take a tiny amount of that on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to pop it everywhere that I'd normally prime. It feels like it's sticking to the skin more than it normally would. Feels like there's more grip to the skin, and I'm hoping that's the same with my foundation when I apply that. I think I'm just going to jump straight in with my foundation and see how that performs. I feel like that's going to be the real test for this. So for foundation today, I'm going to use the Airbrush Flawless Finish by Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade Warm Child. I think that's how you say it anyway. And I'm going to take a pump just to start off with because I know you don't need a lot with this foundation. So I'm just going to apply this how I normally would. I'm not going to do it any different, and I am going to use a sponge as well. So I'm just going to start to blend this out. So if I'm being honest, I feel like it's made me look really cakey around my nose. I don't think it's picking up on camera, but I've got really oily skin and foundation never tends to build up there. Yeah, I don't think I'll be using that in the future. I feel like that foundation's obviously a bit too light for me as well. However, looking at the technique itself, I don't think it's done anything good. Yeah, I genuinely think that's a no from me. I think that's a bit of a gimmick. I think for some people it might work, and because I've got oily skin, I had really high hopes. However, no. I'm just gonna add some cream contour on the perimeter of my face really quickly, just because I look like Voldemort. I'm so white at the moment, so I'm just gonna quickly do this and then I'll be back for the next step. So this is by Amanda Ensing. I think I'm butchering her name. I'm sorry if I am. So this is a Facelift Concealer hack.
I'm going to show you this life-changing Facelift Concealer hack. This is how I used to do my concealer, triangle under the eye. It's a very bright, very dramatic concealer everywhere. With this technique, you strategically place it on the inner and outer corner of the eye going upwards, and this will lift the face. If you have dark circles, just use a color corrector before your concealer. This uses less product, so it looks more natural, but you can use it for everyday or dramatic looks. I always set my concealer with a powder just to make sure that nothing creases. This is literally a facelift without the surgery, and your face will be snatched.
So I really like this hack because it's something that I do in every video. I'm guilty of being one of those people that used to put a shit ton of concealer underneath their eyes, thinking that it was going to cover my entire dark circles, and you really don't need that much. So I'm just going to take the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, and this is in the shade C1. And basically all you're doing is putting a little bit just on the inner corners there, and then a little bit on the outer corners. This is going to help lift the eye, and then around the nose as well. So you still have that triangle shape, just with half the product. And then Amanda actually blended hers out with a brush. I don't usually do that, I usually use a sponge, but I feel like using a brush you'll get more of a precise application, so I'm going to do the same. So yeah, you can definitely see that just by doing that technique, it lifts the eye and also cleans up any shadow or fallout that you might have there, but keeps it bright at the same time. And like I said before, you don't use half as much product as you do using the triangle technique. If that's a technique that you use, then fair enough, you know, whatever works best for other people, that's fine, but I personally prefer this technique more. And then just like Amanda did, I'm going to take a translucent powder on a fluffy brush, and then I'm going to set really lightly underneath my eyes. So I'm going to move on to the next hack, which is actually nose contouring. So this has been going around everywhere. This is basically drawing random lines on your nose and hoping that it contours, I reckon. I feel like this technique is better suited towards people with pear-shaped nose, because obviously every nose shape is different. So this is by Layla Gerbuz, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering that one as well. Apparently I can't pronounce names. So it sort of like lifts the end of a nose up and gives it like a bit of a button nose. So I'm going to grab what I use to warm up my face. This is the Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick, and it's in the shade F10. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of this product on the P. Louise 7072 brush. So she did two lines here, like underneath the brows. I feel like this is going to go so wrong. So she did two lines just there underneath the brows, and then she began to bring the lines the whole way down. Now my wonky nose is going to say no to this, I already know it is. And then she also drew two lines here, and then one here and here. And then she also sort of brought them out here as well. And then she took a sponge and just began blending it out, which I don't really see the point in just going over the lines with a sponge because it's not going to keep it really precise. So she then began to bake the sides of her nose with some translucent powder, so I'm just going to do the same. Finished. And then she took a fluffy blending brush and sort of redefined the sides of the nose. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of bronzer and a small fluffy brush to do this. This is a lot of work to contour your nose. She do be defined though. I mean, at least my nose is never going to get oily throughout the day, like. So I'm going to leave this on for about 10 minutes and I'm going to go on to the next hack. Okay, so this next hack is going to be bronzer.
You have to stop doing your bronzer like this. You need to stop taking your brush, dipping into the bronzer, and doing this. That will not give you cheekbones. It's going to make them disappear. So let me teach you. Take your brush. Take your bronzer. Dip it inside. Swipe. Swipe again. Swipe a third time. Up. Blend. More up. Only up. Here. Here. And under the jaw.
So the brush that she used was an angled brush. So mine is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH04 brush. So she basically picked up some of the bronzer, and every time she swiped, she let go of she took the brush away from the skin. So she swiped and then brought it up. She then blended it afterwards. So when I'm blending, I'm going to make sure to keep it above where I've placed it. And then she placed it right along the hairline when it was on the forehead, as opposed to like bringing it down to your brow like I normally would do. If you've got a smaller forehead, then you can get away with just putting it around the perimeter of your forehead. If you're wanting to sort of shorten it, then you can just bring it from the brow upwards. I'm actually just going to take a fluffy brush to blend all of this out. So I feel like I'd like that technique if I didn't use the very first one with the like primer, setting spray and all that, because it's just making my skin look really bad and cakey. It's really throwing me off. But I do like the placement and how she said to blend it up as opposed to like blending it down. So the next hack is going to be blush. So this one says how blush can change your face. So again, it's all about face shape. So this is sort of the same as the bronzer, so the more you apply it on the perimeter of your face as opposed to the centre of your face, the more it's going to lift. She looked like she used a liquid lipstick there, or a lip cream from NYX, but I ain't going to do that because I've got a load of powder on my face. So I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush for this part, and I'm going to use the Beauty Crop Orion Glow Blush Duo. And I'm going to take the pink side, and then again just work this on the outer portions of my face, sort of laying it a little bit above where we put the bronzer and using the bronzer as a transition shade. And I'm not putting it anywhere near the apples of the cheeks, I'm just going to keep focusing it on the tops of my cheekbones. I'm actually just going to dust off this baking on the sides of my nose now because I feel like it's been on forever. And then I'm just going to blend the two lines out a little bit more as well and apply some blush on top like I normally would. I do actually like that technique of contouring your nose. I feel like it's a really good way to sort of learn your nose shape just because she put quite a few lines on there and I think it looks cute. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of highlighter on my skin. So I'm going to finish off underneath the eyes really quickly. I'm not going to do too much to it. I'm going to sort of mimic what I was doing on the crease. So I'm going to dip straight back into this palette from Beauty Bay. So I'm just going to take Bare Necessity again on the fluffy pencil brush that I was using. And I'm just going to begin to run this on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to pick up the purple, which is Sugar Plum, on that same brush, but just on the very tip this time. And I'm going to focus this more towards the actual waterline. And then with a fluffier brush, I'm just going to dip back into Bare Necessity. And I'm going to use this to blend out the purple that we've just laid down. So we're almost finished. We've got 2 hacks to go now. So the next one is going to be a mascara hack. I think this one is quite common. I know I used to do this one quite a lot and then got bored of doing it apparently. So this one is by Ari from The Block.
Okay, so a lot of you guys comment asking for a lash tutorial because these are my real lashes. And I finally filmed one. I have a method that I created like, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago. So let me know if you like it. Let me know if you try it. And here we go. Okay, so I just need to show you guys. These are my natural lashes. Yes, they're long, okay? No one come at me saying step 1, have long lashes. All right, here's what you need. So rip off a little piece of cardboard close to this size from anything, from a tampon box, from a Q-tip box, whatever, but have it be close to this side and have it be kind of hard cardboard. Okay, so we got a little piece of cardboard. We got our mascara of choice. I've been obsessed with Bambi Eye False Lashes by L'Oreal, $10, and Q-tips. So we're gonna do, take our mascara out. We're gonna place this behind our lashes, like a little bit further back, and we're gonna pick all the way from the bottom and move up. We're gonna keep doing this the whole time, a lot of mascara.
So basically she just keeps going up from the base of the lashes right towards the end. So I've just zoomed you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So she basically went from the root all the way to the end of her lashes. Trying to be really careful to make sure I don't get it on my eyeshadow. But I do really like this technique. It catches every single lash and right at the very end of your lashes as well. Because as you can see, when I just do it normally, like this, it doesn't catch the ends of my lashes as it would do here. So yeah, I do feel like this hack definitely works. Yeah, I do really like that hack. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. So we are almost done now. We're on to the last hack, and that is lips. So this is by, so I'm not gonna say her name, I'm just gonna put all the names on the screen because I can't pronounce names and I don't want to butcher them because I feel like that's rude. So I'm just gonna pop the name on the screen. So this is a lip contouring hack, or how to sort of overline your lips and make them appear plumper.
Many people think I've had lip fillers, but what I actually did was learning how to contour them, and today I'm gonna show you. First, I use a lip scrub to smooth and plump my lips. Then I take a foundation brush to even out the color and create a base for the lip liner. Then I use a contour stick to create a shade around my lips, which will make them appear fuller. I start by slightly overlining my cupid's bow, but going down to the outer corner, I try to keep it close to my lip line. Again, I overline just the center of my lower lip. With the same liner, I'm filling in the outer corners. I take a darker lip liner and apply it again just in the outer corners. Using a nude lipstick, I'm blending in the lip liner. Then I take a lighter shade to create an ombre effect. With an even lighter shade, I highlight the center of my lip, finishing by adding a little bit of white or clear gloss in the center. And voila, no fillers needed.
Didn't she use like 6 lip liners, 17 lipsticks? So I'm pretty sure she used like 3 lipsticks and 2 lip liners and a lip gloss. I'm only going to use 2 lipsticks just because if I want to make it even lighter, I'll just pop some concealer in the center. So I'm going to start off with the lip scrub. This one that I've got here is from Lush. I hate using lip scrubs because they're just so messy. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this on a face wipe, and then that will sort of help me rub it into my lips without it getting everywhere, hopefully anyway. And then she says that she takes a foundation brush. And then she also contours her lips a little bit as well. So I'm going to take that same foundation stick I was using earlier, and she puts a little bit just under her lip here. So that's going to make it look more fuller instantly, like it goes out a little bit more. And then she also put a little bit at the sides. So for the first lip liner, I'm going to use Toffee. This one is from Primark. And she said that she overlines her Cupid's bow, but then it keeps this to her natural shape on the outer corners. And then again, just overlining the centre of the bottom lip and keeping the edges to their natural shape. And then she slightly fills in the edges as well. And then she basically takes a darker lip liner. This one is Spice from Primark as well. And she just goes over what she's done. It's very dark. And then again from Primark, I'm going to use their matte lipstick in the shade Thrill Seeker. So this is quite a light nude. So I'm going to pop this in the centre. And then I'm going to go in with Maybelline's Purely Nude matte lipstick in 981. And she basically just went in the centre again with this one. And this creates the illusion of like more pouty lips. And then to top that off, she went in with a gloss. Hers were a clear gloss, but I don't have one. So I'm going to use Jeffree Star Candy Pop. This is the lightest gloss that I've got. And I'm just going to pop. That is disgusting. Why did I drop that? Oh my god. I'm just gonna clean this. So we'll start again. I'm gonna pop this gloss all over top. Okay, so I think this is the finished look. Okay, so the eyeshadow I absolutely love. I don't think it suits me personally just because I am so fair skinned and it's more dark. More dark, of course it is. It's a lot deeper than what I would usually go for. The hack where you use moisturiser and then powder and then setting spray and then primer, I think that's a gimmick. It's made my skin look unbelievably dry. It's not picking up on camera. I'm just going to take a picture of it on my phone really quickly. But it is literally emphasising all of the texture that is on my cheeks, on my pores, or it's emphasising my pores even. And my skin just feels hella dry as well. Like, my skin has never ever felt this dry before. So yeah, I think I'm gonna say that that one is a gimmick and I don't really believe that that one works. It does work for some people perhaps, but not for me. It just goes to show that everybody's skin is different and things work better for most people and not as well for other people. The concealer hack, 100%, I will always use that concealer hack from now on. I just like how it brightens your face and lifts your face. The nose contour, I hate to say it, but I do actually quite like it. I like how it shapes your nose. Definitely defines the bridge of your nose. But yeah, I think that's the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope you like these types of videos as well. And even better, I hope the quality was better for you this time because I know it looks like I've been filming with a fucking toaster. I already know that. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching and I will see you all next time. Bye!